members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNNY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNNY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Welcome. It's Friday. Today with Kashay, we've got a hot topic today. We're talking all about EMDR therapy. And I have Anna Leeson in the studio today. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
Good morning. So interesting when I met you because one of the things that we talked about was this test, this Enneagram test. And I can say I was a little bit concerned with taking it because I thought to myself, what will it say? What will it say? You know, and interesting enough, I'm hoping I'm not going to get myself in trouble today. So if you know me, listeners, I'm hoping this will just help you better understand how to handle me, right, friends?
Right.
And to better understand maybe why I talk the way, act the way, or think the way I think. But we're going to find out live today what my results mean. So I think I was a 3, 4. Help us out, Anna.
I think you're a 3 with a 4 wing,
okay.
Which means the 3 that you are extremely driven, very, very professional.
Am I driven? Really? No, I think that. Okay, yes. I would agree with that I'm driven. I would agree I'm driven. Okay, what else?
Very much a performer, that you are kind of defined by taking on a lot of tasks.
Yes.
And efficiently completing them. That lists are a major thing.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes checking off what you've done for the day can be a big
That's crazy.
thing.
I do that.
I know.
No, that's I literally
watched you.
I literally do that. I go, okay, and I need to know that when I have my list, but I don't want to. But I'm also a free spirit. I mean, or does that not?
No, that's a big
Okay.
part of the 3. In fact, 3 with strengths, there's a deeply, deeply spiritual aspect
I'm very
to
spiritual,
you.
yeah.
And the free spirit, that's when you're in a very, very strong place.
Okay.
Interestingly, a 3 personality, when they're feeling more challenged, they'll be very much a peacekeeper.
Okay.
The Enneagram personality, it's fluid. We move. Under strength, we look one way.
Yeah.
Under stress, we look very different.
Okay.
So,
So are you telling me I'm perfect?
of course. I mean, you had any questions?
I mean, really, where are my faults? It sounds like that's a perfect individual.
Well, I mean, there's just a few that we all have.
Okay, we won't get into that. Let's just talk about. We'll do that part later. Can I come to your office for that? But okay, so tell us what EMDR therapy is. What is that?
EMDR, it was developed in the 1990s by a lady named Francine Shapiro, and the original name, it's eye movement desensitization reintegration, kind of a big word.
Okay.
As time progressed, they started to learn that you're dealing with the left brain, right brain, and you can do tapping, and it's incredible what happens with trauma, that people, when they experience trauma, it's kind of like in therapy, the therapist basically moves aside, and the person, I think it's so cool, people all have their own ways of healing.
Sure.
And it allows people to kind of connect with their inner wisdom, their inner strength, and heal.
So when you say tapping, like if I just start tapping
Well,
myself?
no, you cross your...
Okay.
What you basically do is you kind of pick what was the most disturbing thing about what a person experienced.
Okay.
And they go through that, and then you kind of rate it on a level.
Sure.
And you kind of work through that process, and then at the end, before they even start the process, you start with a box. In fact, I'll have you describe a box to me.
Okay, so a box is square.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Just any type of box.
Any type of
Okay, I'm envisioning a brown square box.
box. Okay. What's it made out of?
Cardboard.
Okay. And how do you close it?
I close it. It's one of those where the lid lifts up and down.
Okay. All right. So you've got your box,
Okay.
and then what's the most beautiful, peaceful place in the world that you can think of?
Oh my gosh. Oh, in the world.
In wherever you want to go.
Oh, I do want to go to, I've been looking at Croatia and Greece.
Ah,
Okay.
beautiful.
I
Okay.
mean, but I can't say, I love Victoria. I have a place that I go to in Victoria Island in Canada, British Columbia, which is very beautiful.
And what are the details of that place?
Oh
that
my
you love?
gosh. Well, you know what I love about it? I love that it is a very natural, organic, very beautiful in the sense that there's not a lot of, development as far as hustle and bustle. I feel free when I go there. I love to go to the beach. I love to run the beach. The food is all natural. It's a great balance between a city life, yet still the natural, free country. You get the best of both worlds. And
Healthy, peaceful place.
oh my gosh. And that's where I go. Like when Art and Fashion, this event that I came about, I was running the beach there. And a lot of times when I do have stressful moments or things that I want to process, I'll go there.
Which is wonderful. And that's kind of what EMDR is about. I always ask those first two questions. Then you start with the tapping and deal with the trauma. And the person basically goes back and looks at the trauma. But the main thing is that's in the past. You're here now.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to heal now? And then as they work through the process, they look at putting whatever remains from that into the box. That the box is able, basically compartmentalize, that the box can hold whatever you choose to place into it.
Interesting.
And if you need to take something out, you can take something out. You can put whatever in there.
It's a great holding spot.
Yes.
Meaning you don't have to take it all in you.
Correct.
You've got a lot of trauma you're dealing with. You don't have to have it on you at all times.
Right.
Go put it in the box, and then when you come back, you can open it up and get what you need and then put it back.
Exactly.
So
you can deal with it and process it. Like I
Interesting.
worked with this woman that was robbed. She worked in a bank and she was robbed at gunpoint with a gun to her forehead.
Yes.
And within 4 weeks, she was able to get back to work. And it was
Yeah.
going through that process,
process.
compartmentalizing. But then the beautiful place, like your spot in Canada.
Yeah.
Whenever she would begin to feel stress, you go there and you breathe in that wonderful fresh air. You listen to the waves.
Or is it just an excuse for me to travel? I mean, I could go, to be honest, I probably could go on any place. No, I'm teasing. Well, we're going to probably get our quick commercial if you don't mind, and then we'll get back. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you.
Watch us live in our social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, at KNLY 91.1 FM.
Looking to buy a home? Looking to buy commercial real estate? Been turned down by the bank? We can help. SDA Financial. We specialize in these types of deals. SDAFinancial.com. SDAFinancial.com. We do the deals the banks say no to. Go to SDA Financial. Let's get your deal done today. This message was from a proud sponsor to KNY 91.1 FM.
Mixing genres and generations, all in one station. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Arts Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsartsfloral.com and barbsartsfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Arts Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNY 91.1 FM.
Follow us at KNLY 91.1 FM.
This is E.L. Crane of Real Estate U here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. Remember, that's Real Estate U. Insightful, informative, and a little humor tossed in. Real Estate U, listening live, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday at 91.1 The Boss.
Follow us at KNLY 91.1 FM. We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll, all in one station, mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas, 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Welcome back to Today with Kashay. We have Anna Leeson in the studio talking about EMDR therapy. And when we went to commercial break, we were just kind of talking about how, it works and things of that nature and how long it's been around. Mm-hmm. So how is this being processed in the brain? So I would assume I'm in your office and I'm telling you my life story. How does that work? And then how does that transpose into the brain to start the process, if you will?
Well, I guess basically you want to break down the trauma of, look, what was the most disturbing?
Well, like in my case, my mother just recently passed,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That probably your mother passing, I don't know if that's something you would necessarily use EMDR for, of more just kind of allowing yourself to process that through. It would probably be more helpful to look at the Enneagram test and your personality type, that with your testing as a 3 and a 4 wing, that so much of yours is achievement and performing and staying very busy.
Oh my gosh.
Part of your being stressed is, in one thing I don't know, with grief, you probably have gotten busier and busier and busier, and it's giving yourself permission to take some time to grieve, take some time to be there spiritually and to heal.
Wow, I have to stop you there. That is so huge, because when my mother was in the hospital and she was going through that, I don't think people quite understood how I could still go right back, leave the hospital, and I was back up working. And they would say to me, Kashay, are you sure you want to be here? And so I know y'all are listening and y'all know this was, or Kashay, why are you doing this? And
that's how you were coping.
That is how I had to.
Right. And
I go work harder, I achieve more. So I always say to anyone who tries to, come up against me, or if I'm gonna, my thoughts are always, when I'm backed in a corner, that's when I work my hardest. So it's better to, that's when I really, it's so fascinating that I'm hearing this. I'm sorry, but it's like, it truly explains why I've been doing the way I do, because if something is traumatic for me, I don't want to sit there and whimper and cry. I do have my moments, but what I want to do is I want to make something happen. I want to turn that into something beautiful. I want to help somebody. I want to transpose that into something so beautiful that pain turns into happiness.
Which is a huge strength for you to do that.
Yes.
But especially something as large as the loss of a parent, it's allowing ourselves to have time with that space to know you've got the strength to sit with that pain, and ultimately all of that beauty is going to come. You loved her dearly and you were there for her. But it's neat that because of your personality type that you're able to take that pain and be with it. I would imagine that you're just now at a point where you're able to start slowing down a little bit, but it's probably a little bit scary to look at that and think, I'm not quite sure how to do that.
To your point, I've been telling people I am now taking things off my plate.
Good.
I'm starting to, people are saying, well, how do you, I've said I'm downshifting. I'm removing things. And I think people are going, well, wait, don't leave me. What are you doing? And it's not because I'm trying to disengage. What I'm doing is I know my threshold.
Right.
And I know now it's time, and maybe it's really because I'm starting to heal and move to the next stage.
Which is so healthy for you. And to keep that in mind, that your healthiness is kind of backing off some from it.
So I'm sorry I deviated. So
No, that's okay.
But,
I forgot.
Oh my gosh, where are we? We're in my session. I should slow down. Kashay, you're on air. Do not do your session
and
on
Ivan
air.
has a few issues back there too.
Okay. Now back to the point. Let's get back to.
Okay, we're going to the point.
So EMDR. So tell us a little bit how it works on the brain for the individuals out there.
Okay, when somebody experiences a trauma, our normal brain, it's like our neurons are connecting. They're talking to each other. They're communicating. Everything goes well. There's a trauma. That's what happens.
Okay.
What the tapping does, it's kind of reintegrating left brain, right brain. They used to use hand movement, and some people still do. They'll use clicks, left brain, right side of your body. It just kind of is a reintegration. It's allowing the brain to process through. You went through this trauma, you survived it. That was then, you're here now. You've got the strength the energy, the courage to move forward, to let it go. That was a part of your life,
Okay.
but you survived it. You're okay.
And as far as a person who's taken a session, let's say someone wants to come and they're like, okay, I just had a traumatic situation. And it sounds like when I was doing a little research, it's good for anxiety, PTSD, trauma, and panic. So let's say there's someone out there who has experienced, which probably most people have, in some form or fashion. What do they experience, or what should they expect in their first session?
The first session, I typically don't do EMDR in the first session because I want to know the person a little bit better and know where their strengths are. It also helps me to know their personality type because I can kind of look at, okay,
Sure.
this is where you go to in strength. The next session when we do it, it's a very quick process. It's maybe 10 minutes. It's not long at all. And they'll go through the process, then they have the box, and the process itself is rather, it can be intense,
Okay.
but it's helpful that you've got the box to put the stress from what's going on in there. Then you go to your beautiful place. The interesting part about it is it continues to work after. A lot of times people will come in after the session and say, all this stuff came up that I hadn't even remembered or thought about. And it's nice because it's clearing. Because therapy is kind of like an onion. You deal with one layer and you're like, good, I've dealt with it, I'm there.
I'm healed. And then you're like,
And then
wait, there's
there's
another one. There's another one. They
Right.
keep coming.
Yes.
Am I ever going to
My
be normal?
onion is too big.
Yeah. So theoretically speaking, and I guess this is a very, open question, and it varies per individual, but how many sessions do you think it takes roughly to start to see change if I'm a person walks in and says, oh my God, I'm trying to heal through this? About how long or how many sessions?
Really, after the first session, you're going to notice change.
Oh, wow.
It works
That's
very
huge.
quickly. It is huge. It works very fast. Sometimes people, I mean, I'm not saying one session is going to do it
Right.
all, but after that first session, you are going to notice
Well,
a change.
that says something. That's
Yeah.
huge. As far as, let's say there are individuals out there who are taking medicine or they're on, doctor's care, can this work in conjunction,
Oh,
or can
yes.
it actually, sorry doctors, but can it, actually allow them to move away from the medical or the medicine, if you will, or do you probably say more together?
I think medication and therapy work well together, but yes, and I think physicians would say the same. The more a person can heal and move forward, hopefully they can move off of medication or fewer medications. So it's certainly anything that helps towards somebody's healing. I think physicians and therapists,
Right.
everybody wants that.
And side effects. I'm assuming the side effects, if there are any, is my first question, would be a lot less than the side effects of medication.
Well,
or not.
That's actually a very good question, because sometimes, in fact, of all things, it was a therapist I was doing this. She was trained in EMDR. We got into it, and she broke down completely, and
Wow.
And we had to stop. She said, "I'm not ready. I can't do this."
So you have to get trained.
So, we had to work through that. So sometimes it's too intense. And in her case, she later was able to go back and work through it. Another situation, I had somebody who was psychotic, and for some reason, they had read about EMDR and wanted me to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
No, that was my next question. Are there any individuals that you would say this is not for, or, hey,
Yeah.
you're going to have to go ahead and put the straitjacket on you.
Yeah, if
It's
somebody
time
was-
to put you away.
I don't know if I put the straitjacket on, but if they're psychotic, I'm not going to do it. I'm
Okay.
not going to go there. with them.
There are limits. There are
Right,
limits,
and
yeah.
even, in fact, I was just teaching a class the other day, and we were talking about very young children and working with them. And
Oh, yes. What is the
some-
age to start?
I
Great question.
work primarily with older adolescents and adults, but they wanted to try at a smaller level with children as young as 5 and 6. They were thinking they need to be
Yeah.
verbal, but I don't know the research out there on that.
So it's more probably teens
Yes.
and on
Yes.
up until you're, adult
Yes.
and things of that nature. Do you suggest a certain amount of period of time for a person, depending on, whatever that tragic situation is? Would you say, hey, 6 months, a year, or is something you do for the rest of your life?
You mean coming into
Yeah.
therapy?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can come in and they're done. They don't need therapy. They work through it.
Wow.
And they might come in for maybe several months, but they work through it and they're okay. And I certainly don't believe in staying. I mean, I love working with people, but
But just time to get rid of you.
really, go on. You're good.
I mean, okay, Jill, you keep coming back.
You're good.
Jill, you're starting to rub off. I need you to go. Okay. Yeah, at some point, you release them. And
Yes.
So it's good to know. And the reason I asked that question is because, you think about those medicines, or you think about, how long does it take to heal, if you will. And healing, I guess, is something you're always doing.
Yes.
But it's good to know for the listeners out there and people watching that this is something that you can actually go, there is a time period that you can heal through your process and move forward. That is something really huge.
Yeah.
I think we'll take another quick commercial.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Good.
Looking to buy a home? Looking to buy commercial real estate? Been turned down by the bank? We can help. SDA Financial. We specialize in these types of deals. SDAFinancial.com. SDAFinancial.com. We do the deals the banks say no to. Go to SDA Financial. Let's get your deal done today. This message was from a proud sponsor to KNY 91.1 FM.
Mixing genres and generations, all in one station. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNY 91.1 FM.
Follow us at KNLY 91.1 FM.
This E.L. Crane of Real Estate U here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. Remember, that's Real Estate U. Insightful, informative, and a little humor tossed in. Real Estate U, listening live, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday at 91.1 The Boss.
Follow us at KNLY 91.1 FM. We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Welcome back to Today with Kashay, and we're here in the studio with Anna Leeson talking all about EMDR therapy. And I know before we went to commercial, or second commercial actually, we were just kind of talking about how it works, the process, and actually it can be a period of time and you can actually move forward. What happens to the individual who worked through that traumatic situation or whatever, presented itself, and then something else happens? Are they back to square one, or can they build upon what they got out of that first series of sessions from you?
I think they can definitely build upon it, and the wonderful part about that is they realize they've got the strength within them. They survived this trauma. If something else comes up or new layers are opened up, it's just that confidence. You worked through this. I have no doubt you can work through this other thing. So it's positive.
It is something that they can, okay. So if this is so, it's amazing what I'm hearing, and just in what you said about my number and how it talked about nail on, how I'm doing and who I am. Why, when I think about all what we're hearing in our world today with the PTSD, anxiety, and why is this not something, or if it is, I guess I may not be hearing about it, that they're not using with a lot of and when people come back from war and things of that nature, and doctors, why is this not something that is so on the front of everything?
It is. A lot of
Okay.
therapists are, they're doing a lot more research, and especially people coming back from war and PTSD. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not very interesting, I guess, to watch it or be on TV, but
Yeah, we're making it interesting.
Right.
Okay.
But it's-
we're going to make it interesting. Okay, well, tell them to come on our show and do it.
There you go.
We'll have some fun with it. It can be fun and it can be helpful.
well,
But-
it can
Yeah,
be. It
yeah.
can be, but therapists are using it. I think
Okay.
historically, to become certified in it, it was very, very expensive for therapists to do that, and there was in the world of mental health, there was some discussion over that,
Okay.
and a lot of times people will get, and I am not certified, that you get trained in it and you use it, and that's my attitude. If I can help somebody and I'm trained in something, I want to use it to be there for them. So
Sure.
That's-
So it is something that they are using a lot. I guess I just haven't
Yes.
heard about it, because you think about when you hear, oh, this person has, come back and they give them this, the dogs or different types of things to
Right.
help get them through that. I had not heard about this, and it just seems like it's such a remarkable thing
Yes.
that should be on the forefront of what's happening. You were also mentioning something at the commercial about hypnosis and how you've always heard about hypnosis, and I always thought, ooh, the taboo of like, do I really want to be like in a
Clucking
hypnotic
like a
state? Like, and then what happened to me? Like, what did I do? So, is hypnosis really effective? How long has it been around, and is it still being used today?
yes.
Oh my gosh, where have I been?
To all of those
Maybe I need to be.
questions.
I'll just take a quick-
It's been around, it's ancient.
Yeah.
In fact, they think that hypnosis, like the ancient tribes with their chanting and the drums, that people would
That
go
was their
into
way.
a hypnotic
Yeah,
state.
okay.
And then as history progressed, you'd hear people being mesmerized. And that was a type of hypnosis. All of us are in and out of hypnotic states throughout the day.
Yeah.
You're a runner.
Yes.
When you're running,
Yeah.
when you're exercising, you kind of go into your own zone. You're
Oh, you
aware.
zone out? That's what that's a form of
Yes,
that.
it's a type of
Okay.
hypnosis, and we
Okay.
all do that.
Yeah. Or like when I'm driving, have you ever driven
Yes,
somewhere
and you don't
go,
know how you got there.
So, like when I used to work corporate, I used to leave the Woodlands and drive in, and I'd get on the freeway. And I remember I was probably like on autopilot because you'd get up in the morning, I'd have my workout, I'd take my shower, and then you're on the road. And I remember I would get to work and I'd go, oh, wait a minute, I do not remember the drive sometimes. I'm like,
That's
how did I get there? I'm freaking driving an hour on 45. I feel sorry for everybody else, but I made it.
It's a type of hypnosis.
That's hypnosis. Okay, so that's
Which
what's
is neat,
happening.
yes.
And so, does the body do that as a form of self-protecting, or mentally, the brain rather? I say the body, the brain. Is that something we do, or are we doing that because we just have an overload?
I don't know if it's overload. I think it's something we just naturally do. I think
Okay.
actually it allows us to perform better.
yeah.
Like you look at any of the Olympic athletes, I always think back on Laura Wilkinson, the diver
Uh-huh.
from the Woodlands.
Yep.
And she was on the platform, and here she was at the Olympics up for the gold,
Wow,
and she's up there, and she gets this beautiful smile on her face. And
she
I
went
thought,
there.
and she was just in her zone. She was right there. She nailed the dive. That is hypnosis.
So you can use it to your advantage.
Very much
That's
to
what
your
that's
advantage.
okay. I'm going to start using it. So
Very
if
much.
someone, and I know we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. So if someone is interested,
Yes.
based on is fascinating information here, to schedule an appointment with you, wants to reach out to you, what should they do?
They can call me at my phone number. I think it's on that. I don't know if it is 713
Yes. Tell everybody what's your number. Give it to them.
713-303-9627.
And you're right here in the Woodlands.
I'm in the Woodlands.
Very,
yes.
very, very
Yes.
comfortable drive for everyone.
Yes.
And Monday through Friday.
I am here. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And is there anything else you want to let everyone know before we start to wrap up here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I should mention the charity
Okay.
MCYS
Okay.
with the children that are in protective custody. Another friend of mine, we are the birthday fairies, and it's the most wonderful experience that when kids are at the shelter.
Which
they-
I go to and love
I
dearly.
know,
I'm
it's
so
wonderful, and Patty Ravella does
Yep.
a lot. Anyway, we make sure they get their birthday gifts.
definitely. So thanks for tuning in today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And it's the weekend, so I want everyone to have a great weekend. Tuesday, we'll have Marina Silver from the Butler House, so tune in. She's talking all about her fashion background. Have a great weekend. We got to go. Sorry. Bye.